there's something profound about starting small. About choosing creatures that fit in your hands, your heart, your vision of what a farm should be. Here, where miniature horses graze alongside Highland calves no bigger than golden retrievers, we've discovered that the smallest things often carry the greatest purpose. This isn't about grand gestures or endless acres. This is about precision. About knowing that every egg collected, every jar preserved, every pound of heritage pork raised tells a story of intentional living. Our miniature horses may stand just 3 feet tall, but they carry the weight of our dreams. Our Highland calves, with their shaggy coats and gentle eyes, represent something bigger than their size suggests. The chickens scratch and forage, turning bugs into breakfast. The pigs root and grow, transforming scraps into sustenance. The geese patrol and protect, their honks a symphony of security. Each animal, each harvest, each preserved jar becomes part of something larger, a life built by our own hands, sustained by our own land. People ask how we make it work. How a small farm feeds a family, pays the bills, builds a future. The answer isn't in going bigger. It's in going deeper. In finding value in every corner, purpose in every season. From dawn egg collection to dusk preservation, from spring planting to winter planning, we've learned that abundance doesn't require acres, it requires attention. This is Small Stuff Farm, where every small choice compounds into something magnificent, where miniature doesn't mean minimal, where tiny breeds create tremendous value. Because here's what we've learned. We don't sweat the small stuff, we raise it.
Good morning, friends and family. Welcome back to Small Stuff Farm. Have you ever thought about homesteading? Having your own little space that you can have your own garden, raise your own produce, maybe even your own meat, fresh eggs from the chickens. I'm here to talk a little bit about my journey as a homesteader and the 5 biggest mistakes people make when they're first coming out and first starting to homestead. I have been homesteading on my 37.5 acres here for 3 years. Prior to that, I was on the 18.5 acres for 3 years. And I grew up on a 100-acre farm, so I have some experience. But I would say probably the first biggest mistake that new homesteaders make is starting too big too fast. Having too much idealistic outlook and not really doing their homework. When I first started back into homesteading and having my own garden, having my own animals, my own eggs, things like that, I started out small, 18 acres. That's kind of big, but on that 18 acres, I actually used at least 10 of it just for pasture. I had yards, I had a pool, and I had chicken coops. And so I had fresh eggs, and then I started out just very slowly getting into miniature cattle and horses. Part of that was looking for additional income from the sales of calves and foals, but I also knew that eventually I would raise my own meat. I'm going to share the 5 biggest mistakes, and again, the first one is starting too big too fast. Start small, master one thing at a time. Once you get that down, whether it's raising chickens, whether it's raising a pig, whether it's having a garden and producing your own produce, start with one thing, and once you get it mastered, move on to the next item in your small farm. We all look at land, God isn't making any more of it. That's one of Mark Twain's sayings, buy land, God doesn't make any more of it. And that's very true. But don't overlook the fact that you have to take care of that land. And if you start out on 50 or 100 acres, it's going to overwhelm you. The second biggest mistake people make is not planning for budgeting feed for the seasons. The horses and the cattle and even our pigs graze all year long. We're in Georgia, so we don't get as cold. We do get a little snow once in a while, but not very often. But even so, the quality of the grazing is not good in the wintertime here. Just like every place else, things die out when we do get a good freeze. And so we have to make sure that our animals are getting adequate feed. And if you don't budget for that, you'll be struggling when it gets, further into the season, into the cold weather. You notice your animals are dropping a little weight. You have to budget for feed and hay for the winter season, even if it's short. That's just super, super important. The third place that people, I believe, make mistakes when they're starting out homesteading is wasting food. You pick things from your garden, they're a little mushy, they don't look great, so you either toss them on the ground, toss them in the compost, which is okay. The compost is good, but you're wasting animal food. If you take that same vegetable that you don't like the look of, that you don't want to eat, and you mix it in with your animal's food, not only are you giving them additional vitamins and minerals that they need, and it's all fresh from your garden, but you're recycling what you're growing. If you're not going to eat it, certainly chickens, pigs, usually ducks and geese will all consume what you're not utilizing. And if it's something that you just don't feel comfortable giving to them because it's not even, it's too decomposed when you find it, cantaloupe's been left on the ground for too long, then throw it in the compost. Because compost is going to feed your garden for the following year. And that's super important as well. As I said, you have to think about things seasonally. Your seasons control everything in homesteading. Controls what you grow in your garden, controls the growth of your animals, controls whether you can have hay off your own field or whether you have to purchase hay. The seasons control everything. And once you understand the seasons where you live, then you can have a sustainable living on a homestead without any problems. The last mistake that people make is trying to do everything alone. I have a husband, he's wonderful. He does a lot of the chores, but we also have people that come in that we pay at certain times of the year to help us. If we want to go on vacation, we have to have someone who's reliable, who understands the needs of the animals, who understands not overfeeding just because they feel like the animals need more than is being provided to keep them healthy. Someone who is completely trustworthy on the farm, someone is going to close gates behind them, is not going to leave the chickens out overnight where varmints and coyotes can get them, things of that nature. You cannot do homesteading all alone. There are communities out there of homesteaders where you can barter things so that if, for instance, I don't have milk cows, but I have someone that I can now purchase milk from, raw milk, whole milk, organic, which is what I use, so I can continue to make my own butter, make my own cheese. Whatever's left over, I feed to the pigs and the chickens. And so nothing goes to waste. But we have a community of people that barter different things. I have friends that have bees, so I buy honey from them, or I barter honey for produce from my garden. So trying to homestead alone is not going to work well. You need a community of like-minded people who are trying to do the same thing you are, which is live off your homestead or live off your garden. And even if you're in a very tiny area, like an acre or less, you can still have a sustainable garden that will help your family see through the winters with fresh produce that you can freeze dry, or can. We're going to show you some of that in the upcoming videos, how I preserve our food so that we always have food in the pantry, food in the cupboard, and we don't have to rely on the grocery store. There you have it, the 5 biggest mistakes, I believe, in the beginning that homemakers make. Start small, budget wisely, don't waste food, respect the seasons, and lean on your community. And your homestead will be successful. Homesteading isn't always easy, but it's always rewarding. I would not want to live any other way. I love what I do here at Small Stuff Farm. And by the way, if you're just starting out, I have put together a simple homestead starter planner that you can grab in the link below. It's totally free. It'll save you time, money, and a few headaches. It'll help you set up for your homestead so you're not making the same mistakes so many people make. Again, it is just a simple starter planner for you. I do have an ebook on homesteading. The starter planner is free for you to pick up. Please hit subscribe, like, and just ring that notification button so you don't miss any of the videos that are upcoming. We are going to be doing 2 a week to start with, and I hope the information that we bring to you is enlightening, enriching, and that you enjoy it. Thanks and God bless from Small Stuff Farm.